Hello, we haven't done a spoiler reads in like over a month, and I want to do one. So today we are going to be doing it on the Virginity Pact by Katie Wismer. I have been following Katie on YouTube. Honestly, I don't think that long, like maybe a year and a half, I think. I found her, I think it was like she had some type of Halloween or spooky book recommendation. I don't remember. But anyway, I've been following her on YouTube for like a year and a half-ish. And I've been following her self-publishing journey, and I recently got her book. I've been like going back and forth about getting it. I don't know why. So I didn't get it like when it first came out because let me tell you, I had so many expenses. I wasn't buying anything for myself, and in general I haven't really been buying a lot of things for myself, but I was like, oh, why not? So we got it. She's also gonna be my editor for my books, which doesn't mean anything. Like, that doesn't mean I have to like this book, but I am excited. It's like straight up though, I don't know why I didn't get this earlier, because the first line of this blurb is like me, you know? Preachers' daughters aren't supposed to be atheists. Like, that is the type of shit that I would write, because I'm an atheist, if you didn't know. Hi, hello. I am an atheist, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm gonna enjoy reading, especially like a preacher's daughter that's gonna throw in some drama. Yeah, it's not that long. It's like 300 pages. And I figure I'm gonna get into it. If I enjoy it, which hopefully I do, because she did do a cover change and I really like her new covers. So if I enjoy it, I can buy the new cover too, because then I'll like buy the second book too, and they'll be matching covers, and it'll be so cute. I mean, I'll keep this too, because if I enjoy it, it'll be like a collector's edition. But yeah. Okay, so we just read I mean, it's not a prologue, but the prologue, like the pact section. And I know this book is about, it's like, first of all, I did go into it knowing I don't know if there's no romance or if the romance is just very, very slight. So, because I know she said it's not a romance book, so I know not to expect that. But I know this book is like a coming of age. But my one little thing, like, I know this is gonna change later because that's how the coming of age would go. But my one thing that, it's not on Katie, it's on pretty much everyone, is I feel like everything makes people feel bad about themselves for being not as out there as other people, or for like not having a boyfriend at 18 years old. I'm 21, I'll be 22 in October, and I've never had a boyfriend. I've never been kissed. I've never gone on a date even. Like, I haven't done all that stuff, and I don't necessarily care. Like, yes, sometimes it can bother me, but it's not something where I feel like I have to go out and do it. Like, I feel like it'll happen. But like, I can definitely empathize with people feeling like, damn, like, how have I not done it yet? Everyone else has. But like, I hate when that becomes the reasoning for why they're gonna do something, like just because everyone else is doing it. I just feel like, because it's just something I can't relate to ever. So like, having to constantly be reading it, because you never get the side of the story of the girl who's 18, 20 years old, never been kissed, and doesn't care. Never will you get that side of the story. So it's not on Katie, it's a common thing. Literally everyone uses this, but it's just frustrating. So I hope by the end of this book we get some growth, and you know, she comes to be like, you know, it's fine the way I am. We'll see. Also, side note, I just started chapter 1, and I just remembered she is French in this book, and she says maman for mom. I'm not French anyway, but I call my mom maman too, for no reason. I didn't know it was French when I first started calling her that, but yeah, I call my mom maman. On another train of unrelatable for me but like I feel like can be relatable for a lot of people. Also, I promise I usually don't comment this much for the entire book. I usually start with a lot of comments at the beginning, and then like as I get more hooked into the book, it'll listen. But the not bad, but like the relationship with her sister right now, I'm sure that'll grow too. But I never had that. Like my siblings and I have always been really close. And so when I went to high school too, and my sister's older than me by 10.5 months, so we are basically twins. So maybe that's why, but I never had like us glaring at each other. We were always cool. Like we would straight up at school, we would talk to each other, we would hang, like we'd be cool with our friends talking to the like each other. So another thing I can relate to. So we just finished chapter 1, and I know she said it's not a romance, but I can't help it. Like okay, first of all, I've heard her. It's weird because it's the first time I'm reading a book, but like I don't know Katie, but like that I kind of know. Like I know her as like a person, but I've heard her mention Sam. So the instant I heard, I found out the guy's name, I was like, oh, this is gonna go with Meredith. So I know it's not a romance, but I think there's gonna be like a little bit in there. Also, apparently, I had like a bunch of thoughts I was gonna say and I forgot all of them. Apparently, a lot of people don't like Joanna's character in this book because she's kind of like annoying and immature and stuff like that. I think that was the reason. I don't remember what it was. I like her so far. I don't know, maybe I won't like her later on, but right now I like her. What was the other thing I was gonna say? I don't remember. Oh, I was gonna say, I don't remember if there was something else, but within the book right now, from Meredith's perspective, you're getting how she doesn't like being at church. And I cannot, I mean, I've never been to church like that. I've been to church where, because, you know, I'm Armenian, so first Christian country in the world, you know, my people are religious. So I've been to church for like, my family's not though. So we go for like Easter, we don't go on the day, and we never sit for like listening to them preach. We just go light some candles and leave. So I've never actually been to church like that. But like hearing it from Meredith's perspective, everything that she doesn't like about it is everything that I feel like if it was a non-religious thing sounds like so much fun. I don't know, maybe it just sounds like fun in my head because again, I've never experienced it. But like the community of like every single week, the community gets together and like you guys basically hang out. Again, I don't know how church works, so I don't know what happens after church. Because like at least in here right now, they're like hanging out and talking right before church starts, and then they're gonna sit for church. I don't know what happens afterward. But like that sounds like so much like every single weekend having like this. You're not a family obviously because a whole bunch of families coming, but it's basically like having this group gathering, like a socializing event, you know. I don't know, just that sounds so cute to me. I would just have to take the church out of it because I'm an atheist. Like I'm not going to sit for church. I've sat for church once because my mom made us. She was just going through a hard time, so she took us to church. It was like I don't know, 10 years, 12 years old, something like that. Oh my god. And it was Armenian church too. So it was like when the preachers start in Armenian, I'm like, I don't know what language you're speaking right now because that's not the Armenian I speak. Like when I go to Armenian weddings, when I tell you I sit in that church and I'm like, I don't know what this man is saying. Because like they kind of like, I don't know how they say it, but they change some words up. I'm like, that's not a word in our language. Or they like mush it all. I'd be like, hey, mom, that's not our, what the hell are they saying? But my mom be sitting there understanding everything they say. I think it's more of like if you grew up in Armenia, you probably know what these words are. And they're like less commonly used, so like someone like me wouldn't know them. Anyway, the point of all this is to say the idea of it I really enjoy. I just know I wouldn't actually enjoy doing it. Like I would never do that, but I would do like a weekly get together of like a bunch of families kind of thing. I think that's a really, really cute way of doing things. I was sitting here talking to myself because I didn't want to go and get the camera. but I literally just started chapter 2, but I can relate to some of this so hard. Like, I was that kid that loved going to school early, and I kind of ran my family. So if I wanted to go to school early, everyone was waking up early enough, and like, it wasn't like how Harper's doing it here, where she doesn't go to school at Meredith. Nah, if I wanted to go to school, everyone's going to school, and it's because my mom would drop us off at the bus, and then we had to take the bus to school. So it wasn't like my mom was not about to be driving there twice or 3 times or anything like that. So I can relate to that. I can relate to sitting at a table that's like half hidden by shelves and sitting with your back against the wall. Because let me tell you, I will pretty much never sit with my back open. And it's not like, oh, I have to watch the door kind of like thing that like you see a lot of guys do. I cannot have my back open to like anybody. I feel safest when I'm like cocooned in. So I can relate so hard. There's only one thing I didn't like about this chapter so far, and that was the row for the popular kids. I don't know, maybe it is more common than I think it is, because I went to a high school with over 3,000 kids, which is like some people's entire town. So maybe it's more common than I think it is. But I'm just like, what popular kids, you know? And also, I mean, again, I didn't go to a high school with like really rich kids, so maybe that's it. But no one cared about what kind of car you drove. If like you could drive the crappiest car, at least you had a car, you know? So I just feel like they're very cliche. Very, very cliche. And I feel like it could have, like, there was no point to being so cliche, you know? Those are the things, like, when I watch a movie, I make fun of. Because I'm like, that's such bullshit. But then I always have to check myself, because I'm like, okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just bullshit to me, because I went to such a big high school. So for us, it wasn't a problem. I don't know. Maybe I will be talking a lot because we're still in chapter 2. She's with the counselor. She's a couple months away from graduating, and the counselor is now giving her advice of what to do. Bro, you're like a year late. At least a year late. She's literally, if she's a couple months away from graduating, that means college admissions come out in a month or 2. She's already applied. Like, what? I don't understand. Okay, I think I understand why she's mentioning it now, but also I don't. Like, I understand she's trying to mention it in, like, they want to see more so they can give you the scholarship, but that's only if you're applying to specific scholarships. Because if you already applied to the school, you're done. Like, the school will then, like, when you apply, the school looks through your, like, everything you applied with to give you the financial aid. That's what I don't understand. Like, that timeline just doesn't seem right. Yeah, this video is gonna be like 17 hours long because I keep stopping. I am almost positive that this school is not that big, because most people aren't aware of that large of schools. Like, when I tell people I went to such a big school, almost everyone is shocked. Like, there's only been a handful of people that have been like, oh yeah. So I'm pretty positive this is not that big of a school. At the most, the graduating class is probably 200 to 300 people. Probably. Mine was like almost tripled. Like, it's probably quadruple that. I even knew the quiet people in my class, and I for sure would never volunteer to hand papers out if I didn't know people in the class. Like, I understand what they're trying to play at, and I can't empathize with it because I don't have, well, I mean, I have anxiety for, like, specific situations, but I don't have, like, regular anxiety. So I can't really empathize with her. Like, I don't relate to that. But I understand all the like, points that Katie's throwing in here to, you know, it's not just that she's quiet, it's because her anxiety, like, she can't handle most of it. I get where that's going. But even the most quiet people in my classes, I at least, like, right now, if you ask me, I probably wouldn't remember their names or anything, because, like, if we weren't friends, I'm not gonna remember all of that. But during class, like that 1 year that we had class together, I knew their name. At the very least, I knew their name. And I went to a school with 3,000 people. I went, like, our classes had 30, closer to 40 people in each class. I would know the people's names, especially if I'm gonna volunteer to be handing out paper. I'm gonna know everyone's name. So, and it was like, maybe that's just me, if you want to look at it like that. But even when other people volunteered, people always knew everybody. Like, you would have to try to not know people, because at the very least, when the teacher calls people's names, because even the quiet kids get called on. They don't get called on as much, but they get called on. So, like I wasn't a quiet kid necessarily, but I also wasn't, like, rambunctious. I was kind of in the middle. Like, I would talk with my friends, like the group I sat around, but I wasn't, like, loud and stuff. So I was kind of in the middle, so it would make sense for people to know, like, my name in class. But even the people that, like, didn't really know me, didn't really know anybody in my group, they at least knew our names. So I would like to say that Ashley just did that because she was trying to be a bitch. But I genuinely think they're going to try to, because she's mentioned it multiple times now, that she's invisible, that no one knows who she is, kind of thing. I don't buy it. I don't buy it here. I don't buy it in any high school movie. And I feel like I actually don't know. I don't really watch movies anymore. But, like, I love 2000s movies. I feel like they really did it back then. And right now, this is reading very much like that. Like a 2000s era movie. It's very much reading like the genre. Like, it's very much reading YA. It's playing into every single cliche so far. I don't know how the romance is gonna go. Because, again, like Katie has said, it's not a romance book. But even if it's, like, lightly in there, like, I feel like that's the only part that's not going to play into the cliche, because it's not going to be, like, centered around the romance. But, like, I'm trying not to let just my familiarity with Katie block what I think about it. And right now, all I'm thinking about it is that it's kind of flat. It's kind of cliche. I like Joanna. I don't know why people don't like her. I mean, again, only 2 chapters in. This is gonna be a long ass video because we're this far into the book. I like Joanna, but, like, it's just been very cliche. I'm just gonna say this now so that I don't have to keep stopping every time something happens. But like, everything what I just said, it reads the genre that it says it is. So that's actually really good, but not in the best way, because I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of it is just, like, none of it's unique because it's playing into every single one of the cliches. And I hate, like, if it was just, like, 1 or 2, I'd be like, cool, whatever. But every single one. Okay, we're just gonna continue on. Hello, we moved to the bed because I saw a mouse over there. So we're over here. I don't know how the lighting is, but just started reading a little bit more, and I wasn't gonna keep updating, but I just want to throw this in because this is, like, an actual guess for the rest of the book. We're over here in the chat, and Nope No God 746 is definitely gonna be Sylvia. I'm calling it. Bro, okay, I'm sorry, but I really like this. Bonus points if it's for some. Oh my god. Bonus points if it's some big family gathering. If you start talking about Jesus and the switch to Satan. Amazing. Literally, that's me. If you can see that poster right there, it literally says, God's busy, can I help you? It's me. Again, I don't know how often I'm gonna stop, but I like the topic being around an atheist because you don't normally see that. but I was like, it's just reading right here how she's scared to tell her family, which makes sense. She's a preacher's daughter. She's scared to tell her family, and how like a lot of times when people tell their family, it doesn't go off well. I can't relate to that, and I think I definitely think it merited its right in this sense. I don't relate to that because my family in general weren't religious. So my brother and I became atheists at the same time. My sister is still a Christian. My other brother is like, I don't really know. And my mom was still a believer when my brother and I kind of, like, we didn't do it together. It just happened to be about the same time. She believed, but she wasn't religious, you know? So when we said it, I was very vocal about it. I'm still very vocal about it in my family. She was just like, okay, like she didn't really care. And then when I say it to like other family members, this is where I can kind of see where this would come in. They definitely push back, and they're like, no. Again, Armenians are Christians, like high up there. They're like, no, you have to believe and stuff like that. But my thing is, I think how that turns around is I don't really care about anybody else's opinion. Like, honestly, even if my mom wasn't there for it, I probably wouldn't have cared either. Like, I think it would have bothered me just as like a daughter, but it wouldn't have made me change my opinion or anything. But in terms of any other family member, I don't care. It's just I mention it like if it comes up. And yeah, I can't relate to that, but I can imagine how like hard it must be, because religion literally dictates most people's lives. So like coming out and saying you don't believe in this thing that your family kind of revolves their entire life around, I could see how that could be a problem. So I am actually really looking forward to when it comes out and how that's going to be handled. I'm excited for that part. Yo, this is, like I said before, cliche, kind of trashy YA, but I'm loving it. It's so much fun. Like, once you throw the cliche parts out, because like now I just know to expect it all, I'm loving it. Oh, first of all, I don't know why people have a problem with Joanna. Like, I guess the teacher infatuation is kind of thing, but I love her. And right now, how she is about to talk to Sam, she's literally, I cannot. Here's the thing, I've never been shy around guys or anything like that. Like, first of all, I've never had to flirt because I don't remember the last time I liked a guy. Or like, even if I flirted, it's been like, I don't know, it's been very casually done. So I've never really thought about it, because I like, even if I flirted before, it wasn't because I liked the guy. So it wasn't like you're now hyper aware of the way you're acting. But right now, when she asked Mr. Johnson, like, hey, can Sam keep me company? I cannot. Oh my God. I'm already thinking about myself back when I was 18. I'm thinking about myself a little bit younger than 18, but she's 18 right now. So even at 18, I would have probably freaked out. Now, I don't think I would. Now, I'd probably like be more open to it and more like down with it and stuff. But around that high school age, it's, oh my God. Honestly, this is so much fun. Like, once you get past that like trashy kind, like trashy in a good way, you know, like the trashy you watch for fun. I say watch because when I read, it's always like a movie in my head. The stuff that you watch for fun, I'm enjoying it. Okay, I didn't realize it's 12:45 right now, so I gotta like brush my teeth and go to bed. But honestly, I just want to keep reading, right? Like, okay, what page am I on? I'm not, literally I'm only 50 pages in. They're about to ditch church. Meredith is Meredith and I would be good friends. I think it was just getting past those like first 30 to 40 pages, which sometimes that does happen to me. Sometimes I do have to get past the first 50 pages usually to like really start enjoying something. We're having a good time and I just want to keep reading. because it's just like, it honestly, again, I'm only 50 pages in, so we're only about a sixth of the way in, but I feel like this would be a good movie. Like, I feel like this would be like one of those teen movies from the 2000s. Obviously not 2000s because there's like phones and laptops here and stuff. But I mean, they had laptops back then too, but like the way they do it. Anyway, I'm just having fun. And I think a big part of that also, because there's a lot about this character I can't relate to. There's a lot about the cliches used in here I can't relate to. But I think the atheism, love, because that's the one thing I can relate to that I normally can't relate to in books because normally they don't do stuff like that. But also just the way it's written, that like it straight up feels like a movie kind of. But also I need to stop. Again, I said I'm only about a sixth of the way through. I think I have like half an hour of footage. So, and usually for these, I don't like cut anything out. I just put it all together. So I just need to keep reading. But good night. I didn't go to sleep. I got ready and I was lying here and I was like, you know what? I'm not sleeping anyway, so might as well keep reading. They're on this, I don't know if I should call it a date because technically I don't like calling things dates unless they're specifically said to be dates, because I used to do this, not a lot, okay, but I've done it before where I went out with just a guy friend, where like I guess it could be deemed a date, like in high school. Like I don't really do it anymore because I don't really have friends, but like I used to go out with like a guy friend and we'd be alone and it'd be fine. But I never deemed it a date because, first of all, they were straight, just a friend. But also, like, it could be seen as a date, and in a romantic way, like anything that you do could be seen as a date. But like, I don't like to deem it a date. But anyway, that's completely off topic. They're on this little date, and I was about to say, I forgot what I was gonna say. She's having like that anxiety of like, I don't know what to say. And I feel like I used to be like this when I was a little bit younger, not around guys, just in general when I was around people that I wasn't like close to, where I was like, oh, I don't want to be alone with them because I don't know what I'm gonna say. Until like recently, like maybe 2 years ago, a year to like probably 2 years ago, maybe max a year ago. Until then, 2 years ago, because I feel like when I went to London, when I was studying abroad in London, I was already fine. But I used to be like, I don't know what to say. Now I could straight up bring conversation about like anything, and I don't like silence. Well, I don't like awkward silence. But I've also had it before where like I'm sitting alone and the person comes to sit with me, like they ask to sit with me, and then they're awkwardly silent. And I'm like, I didn't ask for this, so I'm not going to start the conversation. I'm okay with this. It's the same way when people call me randomly. Like, people get mad when I don't call them. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to call you for? I don't have anything to talk about. They're like, just to check in. I'm like, no, I hate when people do that. Like, if people call me randomly and they're like, hey. Like, I've had a friend do this. And she never done it again afterward. Because she called, she was like, hey. I was like, hey, what's up? She was like, nothing. And then she didn't say anything. I was like, bro, what? And she learned after that, I'm not the type of person you just call just to call. Like, you have to have something to say. Vice versa. If I call you, it's because I have something to say. Not just call like any type of communication. But all of that's to say, I can empathize with her from like when I was younger, but like now I can't. But like because I've been through that, like I can't empathize with her. Anyway, this is literally gonna be like an hour long spoilery reads. Okay, I wasn't this bad. Like I could hold up a conversation. I didn't know, like when it got silent, I didn't know how to break it. But I could always hold up a conversation. Meredith is like, yeah, she has social anxiety for sure. Like I never had that type of, like I never had that. But so I can't relate to that part. But again, it's falling very cliche, but like now I'm just eating into it and I'm enjoying it. I'm now 157 pages through, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, nothing today I read, like, there's anything wrong with it or anything. It's just kind of hit a plateau of it's good, but it's not, like, entertaining. I also forgot to say, this actually has quite a bit of romance. I think when she said it's not romance, I think she just meant it as like it's not centered around the romance, because it's definitely romance. But this, like, it straight up feels like a 2000s like teen rom-com kind of thing, in the sense that the teen is dealing with family problems and is dealing with like this guy. Because if you think back to those movies like Freaky Friday is not about her romance with this guy, but that is an aspect of it. That's what this is. So like, it's actually a lot more romance than what I would have expected from hearing someone say it's not romance, you know? Did the pact get out? Oh, this is okay. Here's the thing. If the pact, hold on, let me just finish reading this and then we'll talk about it. Okay, yeah. I haven't finished the chapter, obviously, but we're gonna talk about just the pact getting out. Which, okay, I was wondering what Ashley got from Joe's room, because obviously she, like, the second she said where's the bathroom, I was like, oh, she's gonna go do something. I just didn't know what it was. Also, I expected Meredith to keep the contract just because Meredith seems to be the more responsible one. But also, I kind of didn't expect Meredith to keep it because Meredith didn't care for the contract, so it does make sense why Joe kept it. Anyway, I was gonna say, this is more realistic because even though my high school didn't like play into a ton of those cliches and stuff, it's not necessarily that something like this happened, obviously, but I do remember, little, like, here's the thing, I just wasn't as aware of them because my group of friends kind of stayed more out of the drama and stuff. But my sister was a cheerleader. She was captain cheerleading team, and her boyfriend was the quarterback. Like, they were the cliche. And her, like, their groups of friends and stuff, I remember a lot of drama surrounding people that they were friends with and all that, and a lot of stuff that came out. So this seems a lot more realistic. I don't remember. Again, maybe this could just be my ignorance of, like, never saw it, I never heard about it. But at my school, I don't remember anybody being like these football players of like thirsty. Like, I don't remember anything like that. But that could just be like because I never saw it. But also, I also never saw bullying at my school. Like, I know it happened. It's just it never happened around me. I never really heard about it. So it was kind of like hard for me to really know what's going on, like, around that aspect. I'm 189 pages in. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, it's barely there, but my eyes are wet. I'm not crying. They're wet. Because this is just being... Okay, when I said that this book had kind of hit a plateau, literally like 5 pages after that, it picked straight up. And this, it's just... I'm really enjoying it. What Ashley just did... Fucking bitch. Oh my god. I literally... Like, that is a full police report right there. But yes, nothing like that ever happened. I think that is very much more of a fictional scenario, or at least not in the cities. In like big cities, you don't really see stuff like that happen. But yeah, I'm okay now. It's picking up. I'm really starting to enjoy it again. So yeah, I just wanted to do that quick update that like a few pages after I said it was kind of a plateau, kind of little, like, whatever, it really picked back up. It's like it was waiting for me to compliment it. This is straight cheating. Like, I'm almost positive she's not actually going to do anything with this James guy. But that doesn't matter. This still counts as cheating. She's with Sam. Like, oh my god. She's not even letting the situation fuck up her relationship with Sam. She's trying to fuck up her relationship with Sam. Because let me tell you, this wouldn't have messed up her relationship with Sam. Sam would have been like, okay. Like, I honestly don't see this messing up her relationship with Sam. But, like, oh my god. Oh my god. I can't. Okay, let's just get past this. Come on. Now I see why she said it's definitely not a romance, because once Sam finds out, it's gonna throw a whole problem. Even if he forgives her or whatever, it's gonna throw a problem. But like now there's a bad taste in my mouth. Like, well, the one thing that I can pretty much read most everything, but cheating. And it's not even like I can read most anything. But once cheating comes in, like I straight up stopped reading. I don't remember what it's called. The book about the band that like is done in interview style. I was listening. I don't know, something in the Six. Daisy Jones and the Six. I was listening to that as an audiobook and it was so good. There was like all these actors in it. It was so good. I stopped listening to it like maybe 30% of the way in or something like that because I like 20%. I don't remember. Cheating gets involved, and I was like, you know what? Let's push past it. I think it was like 30% of the way. I was like, I literally cannot do this. I literally cannot do this. Oh my god. No matter how much, even if I had, outside of this, even if I loved every single part of that, now there's no way that this would ever get a 5 stars. Before it was leaning more towards 4 anyway, and now it just dropped to a 3.5. So maybe if the next like 100 pages picks it back up, but it's definitely not getting anywhere past the 4 because of that. Like I can't. It's disgusting. That's the one thing I'd never be okay with is cheating, and it's just I'm not gonna be okay with it. Like I'm not gonna brush past this. Oh my god, I literally can't. Actually, like we just finished. I don't know what chapter this is. We just finished chapter 20. And I like that lesson that like they're trying to throw in at the end that you don't need boys. I think I was lucky to like just mature more quick. And I'm not saying this to like belittle anyone. I'm just saying in general, I think I was just lucky to mature a little bit faster than a lot of people because I never needed boys. I never even considered it. Like I was totally fine with doing everything in high school by myself. I never went to parties, but that wasn't because like I needed someone. It was because I just don't like parties. Like the thought of it, not fun. I also didn't do it in college. But like straight up, I went to prom by myself. I did, we did pep rallies with friends, and like I did all that stuff with friends, and I never even considered like you have to be with a guy. But I do know, like especially with what's perpetrated in, books and movies and shows and stuff, is that in high school it's you and your boyfriend, blah blah blah, and you do everything with your boyfriend. So I'm actually glad with where this is going on, like Meredith and Joanna are gonna do everything, like they don't need to be with a guy. When Sam took it pretty much how I was expecting him to take it, I definitely thought he would be upset because this started because of that pact. But I thought he'd forgive her right away. I think he's definitely gonna forgive her probably in this next chapter or two. But then finding out about James, because that's definitely gonna happen. Yeah, they're not ending up together. If they end up together, I'll be very surprised. But yeah, we have just under 100 pages, and I don't know how much, maybe 5 to 10 of those pages is like 2 weeks later epilogue. So like 90-ish, 85-ish pages. And we have to go through Sam and her talking, Sam finding about James, and probably they'll fully break up at this point. Her parents finding out she's an atheist, her parents finding out her sister's a lesbian. The whole thing with Squirt. Also, I don't like Squirt's name. Like, it sounds nasty. Like, there's a lot still to be covered. The whole Ashley being a whole ass bitch. We need to see something happen to that asshole. Yeah, I am enjoying it. If you took that cheating part out, I would have would have really been enjoying it. Yeah, this is Max getting a 4 stars. Right now, I think it'll probably get a 4 stars. It's around the 3.75 to 4. Telling you if that cheating wasn't in there. Wait, I'm actually confused. Did something actually happen? Because what I assumed is before anything happened, like, I don't know, he somehow got off and that's when she fell off the bed. But was it something happened? Because all it said is I righted my clothes. Which, if you're just like fondling, you stop to right your clothes. But if she would, no, she was wearing jeans, but I don't remember what she was wearing. But like, you could also have to fix your clothes if like I'm so confused. Did it? Because like obviously it's still essay, but did it like go all the way? I know why she did it like this because it's YA, so like I guess you don't say stuff like that. But girl, I literally don't know what's going on. Also, this is the second thing, the like all the way. The second thing that I hate to read. Like this I'll read, but like I literally cannot. It stirs my stomach. It's not something I would drop a star rating for, but I just like the topic itself. I'm sure for anyone it's hard to read, but I'm also so confused. No one found her just in time. Okay, she said no one found her just in time like Sam did me. Okay, so nothing, well, I mean, essay still happened, but like it didn't go all the way. It was more like fondling. Okay, but like obviously for Melanie it was more than that. Yeah, this is honestly, yeah, it's still like cliche and all that stuff. Well, I actually the beginning half is like the cliche, trashy kind of YA story. The rest is actually really good and like dead ass. Not gonna lie, Katie. It's not that I was expecting bad, but like it's really good. I don't know. It's just it's so well done. I'm proud. You know, I'm proud. I'm proud of my little editor. Did I stay up until 3 a.m. to finish it? Yes, but did I finish it? Yes. Great time. I'm not gonna talk about it right now because I'm tired, but also if I leave it till tomorrow, I'm gonna forget. But it's okay, whatever. I'll do a full wrap up, which will probably be like a 10-minute discussion, which will make this video forever long on the book. But I enjoyed it. It's literally 3 a.m. and I have class at 8, so hey, that's the one good thing about Zoom is like I have to wake up at 7:40 now. But considering those first like 40 to 50 pages was not really enjoying it. Like it was okay, but I wasn't really enjoying it. And then it started to get good. And then around the 150 mark, I was like, it's kind of boring. Literally at like page 165-ish, it picked up and then it just stayed up. Other than the cheating part, other than that part, I don't know. Again, we'll talk about this in the morning, but if I had to rate it right now, 4.25. That I think it would have been higher if that cheating section wasn't in it. But oh well. But also, I'm just remembering right now because I'm thinking about what happened when Sam took her phone. Instantly, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna see the picture," and I love the way that was put in, like the way that was integrated into the story. And then right now in the epilogue, when the parents handed the envelope over to her, I was like, "Oh, they're paying for college." So those were guesses I got. It's just I was so wrapped up in reading that like I forgot to like give my guesses throughout. But they were also like instant guesses. They're like the things where I'm reading and I like just quickly say out loud and then I keep reading. But anyway, it's 3 a.m. and I'm actually kind of hungry, but I have to go to sleep. So good night. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Did I sleep past my alarm and not make it to class this morning? I sure did. But it's about to be 10 a.m. Let's talk about the Virginity Pact. I'm telling you, I know I'm gonna forget to like go over some stuff, but oh well, that's just the way it is. I really enjoyed it, and I think the reason I took so long in getting it is because I was so nervous. I was like, plus like it wasn't that I was like, part of me was nervous I wouldn't like it. Part of me was just like other than her being an atheist, not really anything. I don't really know if I'd want it, but I think the bigger part is because I heard it wasn't a romance, and your girl pretty much almost exclusively reads romance, so like it doesn't have to be like a center focus, but it has to be in there. So that did put me off. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm actually like, this had romance in it, but it's definitely not a romance because they don't end up together. And I actually like the path that it took. And I think it's, I know I'm a broken record, but I think it could have been done without that cheating section in it. But I do like that at the end they broke up amicably, because in my family, in my friend group, I am the relationship therapist, which I know is kind of ironic considering I've never been in one, but I'm actually pretty good at like helping people out in their relationships. I always feel like it's pointing out the obvious, but apparently it's not, because they always need help. So as a relationship therapist within my life, I'm kind of always looking into like what's healthy for both people in the couple, and sometimes that is straight up don't be together. Like I've told friends that before, and that is what I would have told these two as well. And I would have told them the same thing I feel like I tell friends, is like, because none of my friends have ever been like really bad relationships, you know, so it's not working at that moment. And I tell them, you know, right now it's not healthy for you. Maybe in the future things will turn around and you guys will come back to each other's lives, but right now you guys need to go your separate ways, and you know, you guys need to grow. And that's exactly what Sam and Meredith needed in this book, and I'm really happy with the way she did it. And I'm happy about like how amicably it turned out, and how like both people felt that they needed to grow. Because even Sam was mad about James, but even Sam knew he needed to grow as well. So I really enjoyed the way that the relationship was played out, and I'm honestly not mad about like the romance not really being there. But I did really enjoy that part. I'm reading my notes because I was just editing the rest of this, and it's already at like 45 minutes, so this is gonna straight make it an hour. But I said at one point, I said this is definitely not getting over 4 stars. I am giving it a 4.2 stars. I think without the cheating, it would have probably been closer to like 4.5, 4.75. So it is really, really well done, and I did enjoy it. I also love the Squirt is a Maltese, because I also have a Maltese. I have a little girl Maltese as well, and obviously not with me, you know, she's my family dog. And the entire time I was just imagining my little Lily running around. Oh, so cute. What else did I write? Oh, I definitely plan on getting the second book. Second book is a full romance. You know what I don't like about the second book? Because I already know the love interest's name is Miller. Ashley's last name is Miller. I don't like that she reused that name. Unless Miller's name isn't actually Miller, it's his last name, and you know, he just goes by that, which I usually don't see that happening on the blurb, and they're somehow related, which I don't think is the case. Why would you reuse the name? I don't understand. But anyway, I definitely do plan on getting the second book and reading it. First of all, I love Joanna. I need to know who said they didn't like Joanna, and I need to fight them. because she is hands down the best character in this book. Hands down the best character. Yeah, she has faults, but she's also 18 years old. Like, how are you gonna get mad at an 18-year-old for like having a crush on her teacher? It's not that far-fetched. Yeah, kissing the teacher is far-fetched, but like stuff like that, you know, like the way she is, I just feel like I really liked her. I don't understand why anyone wouldn't like her. She's hands down the best character in this book. And because of that, I'm extra excited about reading her book. I'm definitely going to get it. The thing is, I now want to get it in time for the live show that she's doing at the end of this month, which is basically going to be like this video. It's going to be like a spoilery full discussion on the book. So I want to get it so I can join that discussion. But that means I have to get it from probably like Amazon, because I don't do ebooks. If I get an ebook, I'm not reading it. So I can get like the speedy delivery. But your girl doesn't have money. I don't know, maybe I'll buy it like next week. You know, give myself time to simmer up a little bit of money and get it next week. Ooh. Stop. I don't know what that alarm's for. But yeah, I think all the topics were, it's hard for me to say because obviously I've never experienced this stuff, but I think that they were well handled. They had the emotional punch. I never cried. It is really hard for me to cry in a book. I tear up, not a lot, but like more often in books, but I usually don't cry. I did tear up in here, but I didn't cry. But let me tell you, it was a roller coaster and it was a great time. Okay, let me show you. About this much of it was cliche, kind of boring, not gonna lie. I was not having the best time. And then about this much of it picked up and it was like a ton of fun. And then about that much of it kind of hit a plateau. I was like, oh, where is this going? I'm a little bored. And then it really picked up for the rest. Like, oh my god, when her parents called those, I don't know who they are, those like Jesus camp people, oh my god, I was living for that scene. Like the emotional impact that had, I was there like, oh my god, like I was like, Joanna, run them over, please run them over. I definitely do see how a very religious person would not enjoy this book though if they read that part. But you know what I don't like about the epilogue? Is the relationship she has with her parents. I don't like that she moved back into the house with them. I don't. I get it. It's your parents. You still want to have a good relationship. And it's nice that they're going to be paying for half your college. So now you're getting a monetary thing from them. But I don't like... I mean, they weren't the villains of the book. But they were still... They still did a villainous thing at the end. I don't like how stories always feel the need to take the, not the villain, but the characters doing betray like stuff and turning it around and having our main character forgive them and like want to work through it and stuff. I think sometimes it's just, you just let it go and you're just not part of that relationship anymore. And I think that is healthier. I think it's a little different because it is her parents. I don't know. I think in terms of a healthy relationship, it might be better for her to move in with her parents, but then it might not, because it's a lot of tension. But then if you want to break that tension, she has to be around them, so it does make sense. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to think about it like that, but in terms of just the story, like in terms of a book perspective, I would have liked some type of not as accepting of her parents, you know? I would have liked a little bit more from that. Maybe because I'm just a dark bitch, okay? Maybe maybe I'm just not happy with the happy ending, but I just feel like what they did deserves more than the little, it wasn't a report, but a little police section and 1 week of ignoring them. Like, I definitely think it deserved more than that. But yeah, it was really good. I'm so glad I got it. This is the cover for the second book, and I'm so excited to get it. I'm like, okay, I hope reading from Joanna's perspective is gonna be as fun as reading about her in this book, because my favorite character. I cannot wait. Okay, so now we're gonna close off this video, and I'm gonna thank anyone, if anyone watched this long, because it's straight up an hour long now. I thank you if you'd like to like and or subscribe or wow, I am tired. Like, subscribe, comment down below what kind of dog you have, because I have a Maltese, and I mean my family dog is Maltese, but like here I'm not allowed a dog in this apartment, but when I move out of this apartment I want to get a pet, and I don't know if it's gonna be a dog or a cat. I've always been scared of cats, but now I want cats because I feel like their energy just fits me better. I don't know, but thank you for watching.